the real Maldives in Oman, a project with villas and apartments in the most touristic area of Salalah. Hello everyone, my name is Anastasia and I am happy to welcome you to the Never State channel. We are an international real estate agency selling properties all over the world for investment in residency permits, for living and also for citizenship. Right now, we are at a project with villas and apartments starting from $260,000. The project is located on the first coastline with white sandy beaches, azure sea, and even dolphins. And today, we will tell you about all the options available in this project.
Look at what a wonderful place we are in right now. Behind me is the beautiful blue sea and white beaches. In other words, this is basically the Omani Maldives. And you can not only come here for a while, but you can actually live here. It's even hard to imagine. It's like living in paradise. This place is popular every year because from June to September, people from neighboring countries come here since the temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius. In other words, the climate is much milder and the temperature is significantly lower than in their home countries. And from September to May, Europeans come here because they want to warm up, which in turn guarantees annual rental income. So we can immediately understand why this place is going to be popular for rentals. If we talk about the numbers, the minimum rental yield here is 10 to 12%, which is what current property owners are already seeing. If we talk about capitalization and property value growth, it's around 10 to 15% annually, and that's right now when this region is just beginning to develop. That is only recently, literally this year or at the end of last year, direct flights were launched from other cities such as Moscow, for example, and in fact from all countries. Accordingly, these numbers will only continue to grow. Another major feature of this place is that here you can not only see dolphins, but you can actually swim with them yourself.
Now I invite you to come into this villa and I'll give you a brief tour of it. As soon as we step inside the front door, take a moment to look at the absolutely wonderful view that greets us here. In this part of the home, the entrance area is incredibly open and very spacious. Then, if you look over toward the right side, you can clearly see the modern kitchen area. The kitchen comes included for you. That is, when you purchase the villa, the kitchen will be fully ready for you. You can also choose the color schemes. Everything will be done to your taste. In the kitchen, as we can see, there is everything you need. A microwave, a stove, an oven, basically everything you might need. Now, after this, we shall slowly move on into the spacious living room area. Here, accordingly, you can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There is also a sofa here where you can relax. And of course, everything you need is also provided. You can really freshen up here. The interior is very beautiful. I really like the color schemes. And the villa comes semi-furnished. But if you are interested in a furniture package from the developer, there is also an option to purchase one to your liking. You can choose the colors, the materials, and everything else you desire. Now we will go into the bedroom. Here, as we can see, is the master bedroom, meaning there is a separate bedroom, as well as access to the terrace and a private bathroom. The project offers different options. You can purchase a 2-bedroom villa, which is almost the same as this one. There is also still an opportunity to purchase 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom villas. And finally, let's talk about prices. as we already mentioned, there are different types of properties in this project. For one-bedroom apartments, prices start at $260,000. For two-bedroom apartments, which I remind you come with a private garden, prices start at $350,000. For similar villas, that is two-bedroom villas, prices start at $500,000. And also, as I mentioned earlier, the project has some slightly larger villas, 3 or 4 bedrooms. For those, prices start at $780,000. If we talk about the payment plan, basically it is a 10% down payment and then 7.5% every 3 months over 3 years. The percentage for every 3 months may be slightly higher if your project is being delivered sooner. Also, it might be a bit more. The down payment, for example, if you are purchasing a villa that will be ready in a year and a half, if you are interested in learning more about the payment plan and getting an individual calculation, leave your contact information below the video and we will get in touch with you soon. Let's go to the second bedroom. Here there is also access to the terrace, meaning all the rooms are connected by a single exit. And there is also a private bathroom with a shower, while the previous bedroom had a bathtub. And let's go out to the terrace. As we can see, the villa has its own garden with a barbecue area and a relaxation zone. You also have the option, if you wish, to have a pool here, a basic pool for two-bedroom villas. It is not included in the price, but the developer is ready to build it at your request. I would also like to point out that such a private garden is available not only for the villas, but also for the two-bedroom apartments, which is an absolutely new solution from the developer. Take a look at these views, a view of the canal. I think the nature here is simply wonderful. Right now we are at the construction site of the Cove project. We saw it earlier on the model. It is the closest one to the canal, and this is the very project I mentioned earlier, where now only a couple of villas with 3 and 4 bedrooms are left. Everything else has already been sold. And as you can see, the project is already at a high stage of completion. But there is a new project. This is the Lubana project. It includes both apartments and 2-bedroom villas. You still have a chance to purchase them. There is also the Sirena Hills project, where you can still manage to buy apartments. And now we are in the developer's office in Salalah, who is building a very large-scale project on the first coastline. And thank you to Julia for joining our video. Today we will tell you more about the project itself, what it is, what types of real estate are available here, prices, payment plans, and so on. And Julia, I would like to ask you first to tell us about the project itself, what it is all about.
Yes, of course. The developer's name is Muria, which means this is a semi-government project. 30% is owned by Oman, so to speak, by the company. 70% is Orascom developer. This is a very well-known global developer. They have projects not only in Oman, but also in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Switzerland. As far as I know, they are also building something in London right now. And they always have this concept in what they do, a fairly large tourist complex. And it's a mix of apartments, villas, and in fact hotels. In other words, they try to create a really large complex so that people can live here comfortably. And also in every country they improve tourism. That is, they boost tourism, so naturally the government and countries are very interested in working with such a developer. If we talk about the Hawana Salalah project, it has already existed for more than 15 years. So in 2012, the first project, which is where we are now, is the Marina project. That is, our office is located right here. So accordingly, this was the very first project. And then we started to expand, and now the area of the complex is 13.6 million square meters. So it's a very large-scale complex. The Amazi project itself, which we are now actively selling and building, has an area of 1 million square meters. 1/3 of the project has already been completely sold. You could say that out of this 1/3, 10% has already been built. The rest is still under construction. Accordingly, we are now actively selling the remaining part of the project, which is also very interesting and promising, both for investors and for people who simply want to own property abroad in a safe place.
Thank you very much, Julia. As we can see, this is a very large-scale major project, and as I understand it, as you mentioned, it has existed for quite some time already. So there is already some established infrastructure here. Maybe you could tell us what is already available on the premises and what is planned for the future. Yes.
Yes, of course. This is already a finished infrastructure. Accordingly, all commercial outlets such as shops, restaurants and cafes are mainly located on the marina, that is in the project where we are now. There are also 4 hotels that are fully operational, Fanar, Club Ifanar, Rotana and Juwaira. They differ, of course, in class and price, but they are all operating well now. We have a lot of guests, especially from Europe. Charter flights come to us regularly for 9 months of the year, so our complex is very popular among Europeans.
We noticed that it's true.
Yes, that's why starting from the end of September until the end of May, we always have a large influx of Europeans. Poles, Czechs, Slovaks, Italians, Spaniards, and the French also come to us. Accordingly, we try to focus on Europe. However, we also have a lot of guests from Russian-speaking CIS countries who mostly live in Dubai, or they just come to visit, since now Oman is actively building relationships with all neighboring countries. And there are a lot of charter flights. Now there are more flights, specifically Salalah Moscow, Salalah Minsk, Salalah Warsaw. So they are trying to expand their tourist influence as much as possible and attract as many foreign investors as they can here to bring them in. So yes?
Yes, this is also a really important point. Firstly, regarding infrastructure. If you want to come and see for yourself, you'll really be able to see what's already here, what's been built, what shops, salons and hotels there are, maybe even stay and experience the atmosphere. That's actually a great point. There really is something to see here. Also, as we've already mentioned, this is the first line of negotiations. Julia, can you tell us approximately how far it is to the beach?
In terms of distance, if you look from the project we're selling, it's a 10 to 15-minute walk. There are also golf carts throughout the entire complex, so you can easily be picked up. It's just 3 to 5 minutes, so it's pretty quick. But overall, the territory itself is designed that way, so that you can get everywhere on foot. In other words, you won't get lost because all the roads are built, so that you'll end up either at the marina or at some hotel, one way or another. And this is very appealing to tourists as well as to elderly people who, on the contrary, enjoy walking and love nature. That's why we tried to think specifically from this perspective.
Great, and as I understand it, besides the hotels you mentioned, there is also a water park on the territory. There will be beach clubs, wellness centers, and there are already restaurants and cafes in the marina area. Maybe you could tell us about some other features of the infrastructure?
Yes. The water park is already operating and it's located right next to our complex. And also, trips there are organized directly from the hotel for a whole day or even 2 days, depending on your preference. So it's actually very convenient to get there. In the marina area, there are restaurants, cafes, as well as a clinic, first aid services and shops. If we're talking specifically about our Amazi project, then yes, of course, we are planning it, and it will be built at the closest possible distance, specifically for the villas and apartments that we are selling. These will be special spots that only property owners can use so that they can truly enjoy comfort and privacy. So yes, there will be a wellness center, an entertainment center, and a water sports center for those who enjoy various sports activities, as well as boats, yachts, and so on. And of course, there will also be special beach areas that only property owners can use. But the beach itself is very extensive, 7 kilometers long. Our beach stretches out, so of course you can go sunbathe anywhere you like. You can also come to the hotel. You can buy a day pass, and accordingly, even property owners who don't live at the hotel can use the hotel's amenities.
That's great. Yes, that's also a wonderful point, and I'd probably like to clarify something with you. Let's talk a bit more in detail about the projects. What projects do you currently have and what types of real estate are available within them? Please tell us more about this.
Sure, of course. We recently announced a new project. The new project is called Lubana Island. Its advantage is that it will be surrounded by a lagoon on all sides, and you will be able to swim in this lagoon. This is a very good point because in our previous phases, the lagoons were mostly intended for boating, yachting, or simply for viewing. But now we've decided to focus on the fact that since there is some distance from the beach, we wanted to make it possible to swim directly by your villa or apartment since the water in the lagoons is seawater. The water actually comes from the ocean, so this is a very good point. And specifically at Lubaina Island. We will have 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments, as well as 2-bedroom villas with the option to expand the villa's area.
Great, and am I right in understanding that you still have a few available? There are large villas available, meaning 3- and 4-bedroom ones in the KOV project, which is by the canal. And you also have a separate project with apartments.
Yes, that's correct. Since our project is quite extensive, other parts are already completely sold out. We have only the last villas left, which we hope will be sold soon. And of course, they are located in the Cove area. The advantage of this location is that it offers a direct view of the canal. Accordingly, there are no close neighbors. And as a result, this is a project of a different category. We still have 3-bedroom villas there. These are standalone villas and they already have a pool. The area is 181 square meters and it will be built in a year and a half, because the new projects that we are announcing will be ready in 3 years. And accordingly, in the previous projects, the units that we have left will be available sooner. So for investors who want something faster, who don't want to wait 3 years, this is exactly the case. There are also a few more properties available in other locations.
Super, thank you very much, Julia, for such a detailed presentation. And thank you for meeting with us and explaining everything so well. I hope our viewers really enjoyed it. If you are interested in this project and want to learn more about it, about the layouts, prices, or if you have any questions, please leave your contact information below the video and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Thank you. And if you want to learn more about this project or become the owner of an incredible villa or apartment here, then leave your contact information below the video and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible.